Senator, former Senator, you still hold the title, Senator Russ Feingold on the line with us from the great state of Wisconsin. Senator, welcome.
Good to be on the show. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, thanks for showing up. The last time I saw you, we were both speaking in Madison at the Fighting Bob Fest. And
Isn't that a great event?
It was.
It's going to be even bigger this year after all the things that are going on in Wisconsin right now.
Well, I think there's a Fighting Bob Fest going on right now in Madison. It's remarkable.
Fighting Bob Fest in the winter.
You betcha. Tell us about the organization that you have founded.
Well, you know, the Citizens United decision was such an outrageous attack on the people of this country. The notion that corporations should be able to use their treasuries, our money when we buy gasoline or toothpaste, to just do whatever they want to capture the political process. And so this is a great opportunity to respond. So we are calling this grassroots organization Progressives United. It's actually people, not corporations, who are coming together, frankly, in overwhelming numbers yesterday when we just announced it. Everything from Facebook to the emails to the contributions. It was powerful to know that there is a huge hunger out there for progressives to organize to fight the corporate dominance that is at really a high point. A high point, I think, in over 100 years. And so this is a grassroots organization that's going to do petitions. It's going to support candidates we think will be helpful. It's going to put pressure on office holders to do reforms and to conduct themselves in a way that will help us overturn this horrible decision of the United States Supreme Court. And we also want to, really focus on the policies that are coming up, such as the use of corporate influence to try to destroy the rights of working people, which is what's going on in Wisconsin right now.
Yeah. As the guy who wrote the only book about Citizens United that's out there right now, and it's a bestseller, Unequal Protection, which charts from Marbury versus Madison through Southern Pacific Railroad versus Santa Clara County, all the way through Citizens United. I'm real familiar with this topic. I mean, my book is even used in some law schools. It is, and in fact, in the first edition, which I wrote in 2002, I predicted Citizens United. We just came out with a second edition that has the whole Citizens United case laid out in it, and it seems to me that what we need here is a constitutional amendment. What do you think the chances are? To say that only people are people.
Clearly, the chances of getting something like that are very difficult. What is far more doable is to overturn the decision. You just need to get one vote changed. And I realize that's in the hands of other forces, but I think we need to be ready for that. Whether there is a vacancy during this term of President Obama or hopefully a second term, the quickest and most effective way to stop this is to overturn that decision.
You're absolutely right. And that's why the Republicans are working so hard to make sure that Obama doesn't get reelected, because you've got a couple of conservative justices in their 70s who probably won't be retiring in the next 2 years, but probably will in the next 6.
That's the thing, and that's why I understand. I think the enthusiasm for a constitutional amendment, even though I have real misgivings about changing the Bill of Rights for the first time in the history of our country, but I think the enthusiasm and the conversation about that as an option is helpful.
Well, this wouldn't be the Bill of Rights. All you'd have to do is
of people to say, look, there are different ideas about what to do, but we need to all work together to counter this. And so I encourage people to bring that subject up and organize around it. My preference is to simply figure out a way to overturn this decision.
Yeah, citizensunited.org. I've already signed up for your newsletter or for your site, to your site. Progressivesunited.org.
Those are the other guys.
See, now, by the way, I'm not calling for a constitutional convention. I think that would be a horrible mistake. I don't want people tinkering with the Constitution. But the 14th Amendment says no person shall be denied equal protection under the law. Starting in 1886, the Supreme Court interpreted that word person to include corporations. The only change that would be necessary would be to the 14th Amendment, which was written in, it was ratified in 1868, as I recall, to free the slaves, to insert the word natural before the word person. And that would put an end
an interesting approach
to everything.
That's different than the direct sort of attempt to change the First Amendment, which is often the approach.
Which is terrible. Because that doesn't challenge corporate power. If you go to the 14th Amendment and you put the word natural before the word person, then corporations can no longer, as Dow Chemical has claimed the Fourth Amendment right of privacy, so the EPA can no longer do unannounced searches. They can no longer claim the Fifth Amendment right of self-incrimination, which tobacco and asbestos companies used. They can't use Walmart can't use the 14th Amendment itself to say that citizens keeping them out of the community is the same thing as keeping black people, out of a lunch counter. Yeah. So
I think that has some promise, and I'm going to be excited to learn more about that.
We'll have to send you a copy of my book.
Please do. I teach at Marquette University Law School in Milwaukee, and I'd like to have that book in my office.
I will get it to you. In fact, we will get an address. It's the title of it is Unequal Protection. We're talking with former Senator Russ Feingold. Russ Feingold, once again, the organization is, people can sign up for at ProgressivesUnited.org. Progressives United. Right, ProgressivesUnited.org, and this is a national movement to take back our democracy from these giant corporations. How can people help with your organization beyond just signing up at ProgressivesUnited.org?
Well, we're going to take suggestions from people about what issues they want to hit on hard in terms of flooding offices with emails and campaigns with emails and contacts from us of every kind. We're going to have petitions. We're going to have programs that relate to trying to get a particular piece of legislation passed, such as the Disclose Act, which is obviously a minor step in the right direction, but helps us organize for the larger efforts. It at least requires disclosure, and that's important because we want to be able to say who is doing this. That helps us organize through this organization, and people will find that we have a very open attitude about what different issues we should be pushing. We're going to push on the campaign finance issue, but not just that. We're going to also push about the things that are being done because of the money.
That's great. We have to wrap it up, sir, but Senator Russ Feingold and ProgressivesUnited.org, get over there and sign up. Thank you, sir, for being with us and for the great work you're doing.